Hi, I'm your host, Ron Knight.
And I'm John Williams III, co-host of the show.
Join us for the Entertainment-First Podcast every week. It's all about the music and more. All right, for another episode of Entertainment-First Podcast. We have some beautiful guests on tonight, ladies and gentlemen. For all of you out there watching and listening, we are here for your listening and, even if you want to, your dancing pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the show as well my co-host, the one and only, Mr. John E. Williams.
You called? Huh? Did you call me? Someone called me. Oh,
Cartwheel.
Did you know where you were supposed to sit down?
Over there. Right here.
Yeah.
Or back there.
Well, you are the co-host, right?
Yeah, I'm a host. Yeah,
I was wondering there for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Entertainment-First Podcast, where it's all about the music and more. And before we get along with our guest today, which is Nayeli Cordova and Mr. D'Aaron Mata, we are going to expound on our little issues in the music industry. I wanted to talk to you about this.
Yeah.
Now, you realize that the music business right now is sort of kind of in a dive, or it is in a dive.
It sure is.
You said to me not too long ago that you had some questions about that. What were your questions about, and how do you see the music industry going forward in the near future?
It's going to be really tough. I have managers, agents across the country calling me, asking me what's going on here and on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And I represent several major artists myself,
Right.
and it's real tough. We have to be very safe right now, and for artists to perform, and for the country to open up, each state and city, it's going to be very tough. We're already looking at stuff down the road, even down at the end of this year or begin next year, where people have to sit separately and take precaution, and the bands are going to have to take a cut in costs as well. At least they're making money, but they're not bringing in the money they really like.
Well, one of the things I noticed here in Las Vegas, and I'm not sure if you noticed, but I noticed that there's a lot of buildings being still built here. So I'm a little more optimistic. I can't see billionaires or millionaires or thousandaires and even hundredaires building buildings that they're not going to use. So how do you explain that, especially in relationship to the entertainment industry?
Well, the thing is that these buildings that are being built right now have been already on the market to be built, and they already have the money set aside to be built.
Right.
And so they're just going to continue to build it so that when everything is eventually over down the road, that they're ready to go instead of keeping it there, not being built. And if they don't do that, and down the road, when they start building, they're going to be that far behind in making revenue of people staying at the hotels or playing video games or whatever else.
So are you optimistic about the music industry as a whole, or what?
I'm just worried, I'm worried about a lot because...
as a manager and an agent, that's why I'm asking you that question.
I'm worried because the fact is that these bands, a lot of them now some of them, especially the artists I represent, are saying they're retiring, they're giving it up. And though it does open doors for other artists, but it's for them to get out there, and a lot of them are afraid to go out there and possibly end up with this virus or something else and not get the crowd that they really want.
Well, I tell you one thing. We here at Entertainment First are going to offer you that opportunity to get yourself out there into 160 countries. Yes, we have the facility right here. You can also reach us at entertainmentfirst.com, entertainmentfirst@juno.com, which is our email. Don't hesitate. This is the time. The door is wide open right now. They will close it. You know what Las Vegas is like, man. They open the door for a period of time and all of a sudden they shut it. But right here, what you and I are doing and the other people that are involved with us here, we are offering the opportunity for you to come down to the studio right here. I'm sorry?
Val TV Studio.
That's right. And we have partnered up with Val TV Network, and we have the iWin Network. And as I said before, what our strength is, we can get out to 160 countries. So if you got a product, come on down. Come right on down here. We're located on the one and only Eastern Avenue.
Here in Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas. You can't beat it. So you're going to be your job, you know,
Right.
with my record company for you to book all the people around the world. You realize that, don't you?
Yeah, I do realize, we're as a team and I need to do what I need to do and be as a team with you to help you out and get your artists out there and do what we need to do to expose them.
That's it. So don't forget, entertainmentfirst.com, entertainmentfirst@juno.com, or you can even hit us up at entertainmentfirst@yahoo.com. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, we have two beautiful guests here today, Nayeli Cordova and Mr. D'Aaron Mata. Welcome to the show.
Hi,
Hey,
Ron.
Ron, thank you for having us.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
anytime,
We're excited to be
anytime.
here.
And I'm going to take these glasses off so I can,
Why you do that to me, man?
you scared me.
Oh, man. Yeah, he has the nerve, ladies and gentlemen. He has the nerve.
He's just changing his perspective.
Yeah, his
Right?
perspective.
Like
It's a
to put-
brighter perspective now.
It's nice to put a smile on people's faces.
You're fired.
I'm not
For
on
job.
fire.
You on fire? By the way, I like your outfit, man.
Hey, thank you. Okay.
Let's get on with some of the things. Let me just read a couple of your accolades here, which I find very, very interesting. At the age of 3, as a ballet dancer, and if you happen to be tuned in, Miss Lorraine, Nayeli is a ballet dancer. And Nayeli found a second home on the stage. Is that right?
Oh, yes.
Tell
Absolutely.
me a little bit about you finding home, because we're going to go through this a little bit. I want you to tell us about what made you want to find your home on the stage.
I can still remember like it was yesterday. The first time I set foot on that stage, and to see people's attention, the reaction, by me putting in my heart into the movement of the body, sending out a message in such an artistic way, I got an automatic high off of engaging with the people, with the audience, and just seeing their intrigue, smiles, astonishment in whatever I did. I mean, of course, I wasn't always good, fantastic. I can't really rate myself with my stage performance, but what I do know is that whatever I do on stage, putting my heart into it, people can feel it. And that's what I love to do, feeling that chemistry, connection with the people.
And I also understand by the age of 25, you had found another home in modeling.
Yes, well, the first time I went to modeling school was at 16, and I attended a few different modeling schools. So I was figuring myself out, what is the best path for me. After being told so many times by so many people, you cannot model, you cannot model, I knew what I really liked. I loved it. So I still worked my way around it, and I just went for it. I knew I had to look for what I needed in order to stay consistent to what I really felt my heart to do.
Yeah, and that's something that's really good because, people say, well, John, you can't do this, but you stick with it, and where your heart is,
Right.
it grows and gets better, and you get to that stage
Yeah, it
where
blossoms.
you want to be.
Right. Yeah, if you know what you have in your heart, you're true to yourself, and you just listen to that inner voice, then carry on that path.
So that means you would automatically float to modeling and instruction schools, wouldn't you?
Yes, so after being a model and doing it so much, then I came across the opportunity of working for two different, at separate times, two different modeling schools. From there, based on my experiences as a model and the information, I put it all together, my perspective and how I wanted to teach and motivate and inspire other models to not give up on their dream if that's what they really wanted to do. I said, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to build my own program, and I'm going to put together something that's really going to encourage people to see things in a different perspective.
And that's real good, because I'm doing something like that right now to open the eyes to the younger generation.
Right.
Across the country, where it will open we're looking at the 10th through the 12th graders, so that when they come out of school, they have a dream to go after, and they open their eyes to something, and we create a new audience of theater goers and ballet goers.
Yeah, especially the newer generation, like you said, more up and coming artists are out there. There's a lot of talented, marketable people, but they just need legitimate, sincere guidance to put them out there, place them in front of the right eyes the right way. Because that newer generation, they're the ones who are creating the new wave of entertainment. They're the future of entertainment.
And finish this off, like with my project, I will talk about it later on, but it's to help educate kids about theater, where we give 100 tickets away per show per day to a local high school. But then wherever there's a school of the arts, they will participate with our program. We're looking at 4 major musicals added into one. And imagine those kids walking down the aisles singing the chorus, not up on stage, walking down the aisles singing the chorus, and the audience applauding to them and standing up. What will do to their heart?
Right.
Of course.
So
yeah.
how did you and Aaron meet?
Well, let's see. We knew of each other's existence on social media. We acknowledged each other's work, and one thing led to another, where we engaged in the mutual interest. Actually, it was you first. It was the first one.
Expound on that for me.
Say it.
So I am into videography, photography, and design, and I consider myself left of center when it comes to design, and even just kind of the way I think, and I embrace that. So when I was looking at Nayeli's work, for me it really stood out, and I really became intrigued and appreciated the mystere that she has with regard to her writings. I'm sure you're familiar with that. And over, I would say, over a year's time, I would continuously see her posts and stuff like that, and I would engage or try to engage with her. And it came to a point where I said, well, I want to meet with this person, because I think there's a way we can collaborate, because I like the style of the thing that she's doing. And I feel like, I really felt that tugging in my heart that there's some kind of mutual passion there that we can collaborate on and build on that. So after several months of trying to connect with her.
You laughing, man. What are you laughing about?
Yeah, it's just hard to get a hold of her at that time. Yeah, so that's how we met. Started putting our heads together and exchanging ideas, and really just kind of came up with something new and different, we believe, but our services definitely complement each other. Her doing the coaching and the modeling and the personal development.
I can really relate to that, and there's a short story I have. When I first met Kimberly, my wife, it's really funny, because it sort of happened similar.
Yeah.
But we actually met through a mutual friend that was actually choreographing my show for a television program.
Okay.
And she's kind of disappointed me at the week before I had to do the television show. And she said, but I know someone that'll come and help you out, And I said, and in my mind, I'm saying, I don't really want to deal with anybody new.
Right.
And so we had a meeting at a restaurant, and Kimberly walked in, and I just turned to her and said, look, I'm not looking for anybody else. She said, okay, let's go. About 3 weeks later, she was choreographing my show. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that somebody would just come and help me out and get it done. That's what kind of intrigued me, is the fact that they said they would help me. And she said, I'm going to Japan anyway, and I'm home for a couple of weeks. I'm not doing anything, so So she choreographed the show within a few days, and I did the TV program. And on the way out, I said to her, "Look, if you're willing to put together a show," I said, "when you come back, then we should do that."
Right.
She said, "Oh, cool." But she went away, and I didn't hear from her for at least 2.5 months.
Wow.
So I thought I'd capped it up,
Right.
And then I got this letter from her saying, "I can't stand you."
Wait, letter?
She said she couldn't handle much more in Japan. So.
Right.
And then, but I still didn't hear from her after that. We actually ran into each other again at a nightclub that I was playing at.
Awesome.
And I happened to see her at the bar, and I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're home already." And from there on, it's been the collaboration it's been now, what, how many years?
24.
Yeah, about 24 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, so, it can happen on the fly. You don't have to look for it.
Right.
But that's the best way when you're not looking
No, I
for
like
it.
that. I like that, and especially the part where you said letter, because I'm sure a lot of people don't know what letter is anymore.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. They wouldn't. No, they would text. They would text you,
Yeah,
right?
what's a letter?
What's that? What's that?
See, there you go. That's a good example of what the letter.
Well, that's an amazing story.
Yeah.
But it's an amazing story about passion, too.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, you either got to have it or you don't.
Right.
I was watching some little kids one day, and there's certain kids, man, it could be 2, they could be 3, they could even be 1.
Right.
I mean, I've even seen babies.
Mm-hmm.
You already know they got it.
Right.
You already know.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's what passion is. It's something
Yeah.
that occurs naturally.
Yeah, it's automatic.
It's interesting you say that because at that age, and I can remember as a toddler how my father would just clear out the entire living room, and then they would invite neighbors over to sit around and watch me dance.
Yeah.
I felt like I was just like dancing my heart
Times
out
haven't
to
changed
the
for
world.
us.
I was being
Times
No,
haven't changed.
yes, right.
I was just, my imagination was going wild,
That's good.
and I used to
Yeah.
hold on to like a vacuum cleaner and pretend that I was doing a speech. Wait, listen to this. The most profound quote. I like philosophy and all that. I like profound writing, But the most significant quote I've ever heard in my life, business and law and all that stuff, is, "You talk too much, now you gotta monetize it." He said that to me. I
Well, I'm sure I'm not the only one that said
No,
that.
but it's true.
No, and
No,
not
but
in
it's-
that way. Not in that way.
I think there's been
I have my
others.
share of experience in the dancing, the training, the modeling, all this kind of stuff. But for him to, "You talk to me, now you gotta monetize it." I'm like, my mind isn't the art, and I never thought
And
of
let me
that,
correct
but
that.
okay.
It wasn't too much.
No,
A lot.
I understand what
You
you
talk
said.
a lot.
Yeah, I understand
Yeah.
what you said because,
Yeah.
and that's really funny that you would say that because most people wouldn't take that the right way. But, I know people that know, but I know people who are really good at what they do. I understand they don't have to be good at business. They don't have to. That's something that if you're smart, you get around people who can at least help you understand it. You know what I
Right.
mean? But because we're all good at something different,
Yes. Yep.
But when you do speak a lot, it would be nice to write it down
Mm-hmm.
because it's real life experience.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're talking that much and you write it down,
Okay, I was just gonna interrupt and say we'll get ourselves in trouble.
that's
But I can handle it.
Yeah, but there's something for everyone. But there's something for everyone.
Right.
How many times have you heard stuff that you really didn't like, but you
Right.
find out that somebody is selling it way beyond what you thought it was?
Right. Right.
I mean, I see it practically every day.
Right.
Sure.
And do you remember Good Times and All in the Family? Well, my friend, he was that kind of guy. He talked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But here's how he capitalized on it. He wrote Good Times.
All right.
He wrote All in the Family.
Right.
He wrote Different Strokes.
Right.
He wrote everything spun off of Good Times.
Wow.
So if you look at the formats of those programs,
Right.
they're all off of Good Times.
Wow.
Okay? And what he did was he was a talker. Like he was his thing was he wanted to be like a prophet.
Right.
But he did talk a lot, but he capitalized on what he wrote.
Right.
And I remember him writing it.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
remember him actually writing
Yeah.
it.
Inspiration for sure.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I did one of the first movies he did. I don't know if you guys ended up looking at it. I told you to look at that the first R-rated cartoon, 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat.
9 Lives of Fritz the Cat.
Yeah, did you look at it on YouTube? I told you. Remember before I left your house?
I remember him saying that. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember reminding him to remind me to look into it. I got distracted.
But quite honestly, I mean, just to circle back a little bit, we've been so hard pressed to rebrand NayeliArt and really kind of reaching in deep and getting everything together to organize the website and revamp the Facebook and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's a lot of work. Trust me.
And time intensive. You know, we've been staying up to like 2 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Well, trust me, you got to be up till 4.
Right.
And 5.
But no, because this one, she turns off the lights, cuts the power, and says,
well, you have to, though.
Yeah.
I have to do it with her.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I say, hey, this is insanity.
Exactly.
This is insanity.
Exactly.
You can't do it like that.
Yes.
That's when you get high off of the drive, but when you get high off of the drive, you got to do it in a smart way.
Because I understand it, because I didn't get into business for it to make me a slave.
Right.
That's how, it can make you a mental slave, too.
Right.
But this is what I do. The design, the writing, we call copy. That's my thing. That's my passion. And so to me, if I'm sitting in front of the TV or she asks me to watch something, I'm going to fall asleep. Yeah. I just knock. She'll tell you. Hey, you're not paying attention. I fall asleep. But you get me in front of that computer and my passion, writing or doing content marketing, creating content.
I'm the same with in my.
I can sit till 4 in the morning.
Yeah, in my studio, I can sing all night.
There you go.
I'm lucky
in
this place
passion.
Yeah, I'm lucky this place nobody can hear.
Right.
Well, I mean that's.
And you know what? I'd like to hear some of that.
Oh man, look.
Give us some acapella right now.
How much?
An acapella right now.
Oh, you'll never find, as long as you live, someone who loves you tender like I do. Oh, I'm not bragging on myself, baby, but I'm the one who loves you, and there's no one else. No.
Yes.
I love it.
There you go, right there.
I love that. Thank you for that. Thank you. That was beautiful.
No worries.
Yeah.
That's from a very good friend of mine. He's not here anymore. You know him as the late great Mr. Lou Rawls.
Oh right.
Yeah, he was a really good friend of mine, and Kimberly and I and my family had dinner with him before he died. He never once mentioned that he was sick.
Wow.
And he's one of the few guys in the industry that actually helped me out. I have other mentors, but he was one of the guys that extended.
Speaking of passion, don't you think it's the passion that really drives people to do something like that?
Oh yeah, and the persistence, passion and persistence.
Right, because they're not going to complain about it. They're just going to do it naturally out of their free flow.
Exactly.
Well, on that's the nucleus of NayeliArt. To guide, train, teach, inspire, encourage people, aspiring and professional artists to not give up. If this is really what you want, this is how you can do it. So it's just a matter of how you are putting in that passion. I mean, I'm hardcore. I'm passionate. You know, I've had my shares of bumps, adversity, and throughout the 15 years consecutively that I've been doing this, not counting the stage and the performances as a child, but that magic that you give into people so that they continue to be passionate and not allow anything to get in the way. People just need different perspectives.
Oh yeah,
and especially who it's coming from.
Well, I got 2 things. First off, I like how he sings, but last time I sung and I turned around singing, he screamed and almost ran.
What? Get out of here!
I did Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, I didn't get up. No, I enjoyed the performance, but you and I know what in the performance, and I'm not criticizing you. I'm saying you know the only thing I didn't like in the performance. We won't even talk about that.
But we got to take that criticism, constructional criticism. We know when it's coming from the right place, though.
I think to an audience, I've done the show, I know the words, and I've twisted the words by accident, and then at the end, you know, it was an open mic night at a place. And I said, oops, I'm sorry.
You never tell people you're sorry when you perform.
Yeah. Right.
Because they don't know you did.
Right.
Until you pay it off.
So he gets what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I did love the performance. The performance he gave was really, really good. I didn't come to criticize him. As a matter of fact, I didn't know he was going to perform. But when I saw the performance, I really enjoyed the performance because he made people believe that he was Jekyll and Hyde.
Oh, beautiful.
You know,
And
for me to see that,
Right.
for me to see that, and being in the industry as long as I've been in it, I was impressed. I said to him, I said, man, wow, you did a good job.
Right.
Because every time he turned his head, he was performing at a different, because he had makeup on,
Right.
but he was performing as a different person each time.
Right.
And I could see the morphing into each character.
Right.
Are you a Gemini by any chance?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Wait, are you a Gemini by any chance?
No.
Oh, okay.
Scorpio.
Is that Dr.
He's Scorpio. Freak.
Yeah.
Freak.
So
You know Scorpios, they freaks.
So how was it
We like
when you were
freaks.
young on your first stage performance? How was it? How did you feel and everything else?
It's that excitement that I knew this is what I want to do. I mean, I have a background of the legal industry, casino gaming, and I went to school for it, but I still, on the side, kept doing what I love to do in entertainment, whether it was dancing, modeling, acting, in training thereon, you name it. I mean, I love it, doing hosting, just expand myself in the industry, engaging with the people.
Yeah, that's very important too.
Right.
Very, very important. And doing your different things you like to do, like I do, and
It's my therapy.
and keep on moving forward.
See, but here's, to me, what makes it more meaningful, it's not just about because I like it, my passion. It gives it a true meaning when I'm doing it with a purpose of doing something significant for someone else. That's why NayeliArt, to really engage and raise that collective perspective into, because I like to bring up fallacies and misconceptions in entertainment. That's why a lot of aspiring artists give up, because they come in thinking it's like this, like that, like this, like that. Very few people will actually tell them the real deal. This is how it is, and they're not going to make use of them.
Yeah, that's probably, you can get in trouble like that too.
Very much so.
You know.
Well, that's why it's very
Yeah.
circumstantial, very careful, of course. I mean, one, based on experience, you know what to tell and what not to
Because
tell
it is
them.
an incident, when I put, Kimberly and I put on 350 acts in Madison Square Garden. We had them from around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some acts on that I knew weren't very good. Yet I also knew that there was a lot of acts that were mediocre. And there were very, very few acts that were really, really, really good. In my experience, I know a lot of people want to say, and I still to this day never tell anyone that they can't make it, even though I might see them and say, oh wow, that sounds terrible.
Oh, yeah.
But we live in a different world today. You don't have to sound good.
Right.
That's the unfortunate thing.
Technology.
Yeah, because technology, most of the people, and I don't want to criticize some of the young people are out there,
Right.
but if you listen to the quality of their music, it has lost the feeling of what was. And the reason that is the same, and you would understand this from being a classical ballet girl. If you don't have the dexterity, or if you don't have the musical background and training, you really can't understand what music really is all about. Because if you listen to all of the songs that were made in the past, I could name a few and you would still remember them. But if you name the songs that have been made in the future, say within the last 15, 20 years, it's very difficult to remember them. Because there was art involved.
Art, yeah.
I'm not saying you can't get art from new technology, but you lose the feeling from it.
The raw.
The true feeling.
Yeah.
of art.
Or if you're at a show,
Right.
the
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was agreeing with him. He's exactly right. I mean, because technology, all it's done is advance, and you and I talked about this, Ron, technology has advanced our comfort level and our convenience level,
Right.
but it's done nothing to make us better humans.
No, it hasn't.
Right?
As a matter of fact, it's kind of failing us
Right.
when we think about
Well,
it.
this is a good example of that, because instead of me having to practice on my vocals or what have you, I can rely on technology just to kind of
Yeah, tweak it.
tweak it. Right, and that's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah.
But also I wanted to comment, going back a little bit, because we were talking about this earlier, how you said you commented on, I forget your name, sorry.
John.
John, how you commented on John's performance, and it's how you take it, but it's also how you present it.
Mhm.
And the thing that I like, and Nellie and I are still evolving, and we're learning this about each other,
Mhm.
is kind of like how I told her, hey, you talk a lot, do something with it.
Mhm.
I'd rather somebody be straight with me and tell me their perception of me,
Yeah.
not because I'm interested in their perception, but I'm interested in being a better human.
Right.
And so I'd rather have somebody tell me if I'm trying to do something, excel at something, that they're raw with me and tell me, hey, okay, listen,
Yeah.
you need
Be
to tweak
upfront.
this right,
But how is
because then I
perception-
become a better human being from it. It depends how I process the information.
Then
Because
say I
it-
complain about him.
Well, not only every like I said, if you fall down 100 times, you learn something 100 times
Right.
getting up.
Right, right.
And by the way, can I have a piece of that licorice? Because this
Hey,
shit
this
looks
is
good.
paraphernalia.
Jesus.
I
Let me
told
toss
you,
it to you.
invited you.
I'm sitting there thinking, Jesus, she punching on
Right?
that
Wait,
licorice.
She brought two
I'm
pieces.
going, yeah, you know what? Yeah,
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 right.
hey, man. It's a little good. Looked it up,
John,
looked good. I had to have you some of this
John,
licorice.
I walked in here
She was
saying,
sitting there,
does
I
anybody
thought,
want
man,
some licorice?
my mouth started
Anyone
watering.
else that want licorice?
As soon as I offered licorice, I heard crickets in the background. I was like, okay.
It's
Well, I didn't hear
licorice.
it. I must not have heard you.
Licorice is
That's
black.
what it was.
I like licorice.
Yeah. Oh, you
That's
like the
licorice.
licorice, huh?
Yeah, this is not licorice.
Yeah.
Just a little
It's licorice
something,
shape.
something.
And I'll
Give it a
tell you,
little taste.
I'll tell you one thing
Right here.
that's really good besides the licorice. I just don't want one right now. But one thing I do with my roommate, if you saw it online, that's one thing. But my roommate and I will always go here into Las Vegas or to the San Francisco Opera House and see the Nutcracker every year
Mhm.
because we love it so much.
Right,
And the difference of being there versus seeing it on
right,
TV
right.
or on the
Oh,
internet.
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
There's
Mhm.
no comparison.
And watching other people's work or other people's performance is inspirational for me. And it doesn't necessarily mean I like it or I'm there to judge or anything. I like to learn new
Right.
things. And
Well, John's not telling you the real reason he goes to see the Nutcracker.
right. Okay, ulterior motive. Who's in?
Nuts always go to see Nutcracker.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I've not been there. But
He likes the tight buns.
and put it, a good friend is going to tell you exactly. And again, going back to, not to push anything, but that's kind of like where we're evolving to, Nayeli and I, as far as like kind of working together and being able to not necessarily criticize, but learn from each other and learn from the experience and grow from that.
Mhm.
A lot of things that I've been through personally have taught me that it's not so much what people say or what people do, it's how I process the information.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, people can do and say and whatever, but how am I processing that? What attachment am I giving that information?
Right.
So it's completely up to me, and that's where we're kind of evolving, is like with the brand and everything else, and even as human beings, just trying to be a better human being to each other and how we interact with the world.
Right on.
Yeah.
We're going to take a short pause for the cause. We'll be right back in a few minutes with the Entertainment Podcast Show. Who's that guy hanging in the doors? Who's that guy coming in the doors? Do you know him?
I'm the
You
co-host.
know,
He's sitting in my darn seat.
he's sitting in your seat.
Man, what's
Would you
wrong
sit on
with
his
this
lap?
thing? Good. Yeah. I've been fired.
He's sitting.
I guess when you're black, you out.
What the hell?
He's like, hey, he's taking over your seat.
Oh, I got something.
I actually had to.
Stay.
No, stay.
Oh,
And I like this
I thought we were going to come back up.
Still on air?
No.
Are we still live?
We're live.
Oh.
We're live.
What happened to the break?
Say hi,
It's automatic.
I was going to show him one thing.
Not just
Yeah.
say
hi.
to pick your nose.
That's
Not
right.
now.
Don't be picking your nose in here.
Okay, that's clear.
Before we go totally back, this is why I go back and forth, show them that.
See, this is what I'm talking about, why he didn't tell you the real deal.
That's why.
Yeah,
I
go on
knew
the
it
plane.
had something to do with that. I knew it.
Yeah, no,
That's why he
I
doesn't
actually
tell you
go
the
like
truth.
that.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's it. But anyway, we're back. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, you can always reach us at entertainmentfirst.com. You can reach us at entertainmentfirst@juno.com and entertainmentfirst@yahoo.com. We exist here right on Eastern Avenue. Come on down. This is your place for the future. Networks
And JR
and
Media.
JR Media
And I Win TV
and I Win
Network.
TV.
Win TV.
Just Righteousness Foundation.
Just Righteousness Foundation.
Just Righteousness Foundation.
And
Oh, my OG TV. There's so much.
say what?
My
Wait,
OG
wait.
TV.
Say what?
My OG TV.
My OG, all you OGs out there should know this.
Heartbeatradio.live.
Heartbeatradio.live.
We
That's right.
win. We win.
I Win, we win.
Yeah.
We Win Radio.
I
we all
win,
over
we
it.
win.
I don't know
You
why
win.
I won.
We're all in this together.
Together.
All right, back with Miss Nayeli Cordova and Mr. D'Aaron Mata. All right, somebody, you had a question for them earlier. What was that question you wanted to ask them?
Well, I did already ask him how it was getting into it, and
Oh, I know what it was. How did Kimberly and Miss Nayeli Cordova meet?
Well, once upon a time, it all started a beautiful, lovely morning where I was in front of the computer just hustling away, fairly new to Las Vegas. Oh,
How long had you been here?
2 years and a little something.
Okay.
So,
okay.
not quite 2.5, but almost. No, I think just 2, believe it or not.
Hmm.
So, I was putting together ideas and getting acquainted with the crowd, who does what, who's who, and just getting acquainted, right? So, I did research, and I came across her profile picture. There was something so intriguing just about her profile picture. It's like D'Aaron, when I just added him because I liked the outfit he was wearing on his. Something, there was just something. There's more, and that's what interesting or good people. It's like their aura. Period. That's not the best way I could say it. So I did more research on what she did and what she was up to. I sent her a friend request on Facebook, and I sent her a message introducing myself and what I'm about, introducing Ballet Catwalk and the concept in Las Vegas. She was just so lovely, so kind. We had a conversation over the phone, and that's where one thing led to another. She felt that my heart being legitimately in what I'm doing and seeking the right people who knew their business, who knew their stuff, in other words. You know, legitimate credentials, legitimate experience, aside from what a lovely person she is.
Right.
And then came the Ekaji fashion show where.
No, I was there.
Well, of course, you
I
and
did the
Kim
big-
Entertainment First sponsored Ballet Catwalk at the Ekaji fashion show, and that was a hit. It's just, and then you guys, of course, went to Australia, but you know we're still talking, and right now it's just a matter of working your way around the situation. We're all in the same boat, working our way around and just making the best of it, but all within its consistency. So that's how we
how you
met.
met?
Yeah.
so
Don't get teary-eyed, please. It's okay. I know.
How can people be so heartless? How can people be so cruel? Easy to be hard, easy to say no.
well, on my end is that
Especially people who care about strangers,
This is
who
what
care about evil and social injustice.
oh
Anyway, you
boy.
can go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say
I was looking for
Rangers of the night. Okay,
Did
so
you say what?
Two lovely people. But we were strangers, but in the day, not in the night.
So for the audience to understand, could you explain what ballet catwalk's about?
Ballet catwalk. Well, it's catwalk and ballet. No, okay. To make it very clear, because people have a better sense of
She got some
visualizing
Desiree
when
in
they
her.
see it. It's not dancing on the runway. It's pure catwalk technique, because being a runway model doesn't mean that there's that professional marketable walk, product marketing walk on the runway, catwalk. It's that technique, just walking on points, on ballet points. So it's not dancing, it's doing the catwalk on ballet points. So it's a trademark ballet catwalk, also known as ballet runway. I created that about a little over 10 years ago. San Diego, New York Fashion Week, LA Fashion Week, and taking my curtsy in Las Vegas.
Right. And so what brought you to Las Vegas from, where did you come from?
Well, the planet where I came from, oh wait, I'll get to personal.
She must know you. She must know you, John.
I know.
Neighboring
I
planets.
know.
It must be
your
purple.
language.
Huh?
It must be purple.
She does
It's
know
a purple
me.
thing.
See, that's why I'm telling you the truth.
It's
My
a
photo?
purple thing.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
you know me.
It was telepathic communication. Zzz. Wear purple. Wear purple. I
See,
get
look
you.
You and I.
Purple power.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And-
Purple rain,
Yes.
purple rain.
That's why you sing.
Bring it on, bring it
So
on.
what
I
brought
like it.
So getting back to this, what brought you to Las Vegas?
The market. Okay, LA, Mecca of entertainment. However, in Las Vegas, I saw that, because I was also working a lot in A magazine and media, and I was commuting back and forth so much, LA and Las Vegas. But a smaller market in Las Vegas, yet more global for what I've been presenting, which is ballet catwalk. That's
Yeah, and it makes very sense, especially being in the entertainment field, everything else. Everyone's trying to jump over everyone in LA, but a lot of the film industry, everything is moving up this way now too.
Did you say
And the
it
traffic
makes?
too.
Did you say it makes very sense or very good sense?
Makes very good sense.
Makes very sense too.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
sense, good sense.
And that too.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna give the last marathon talk to Mr. D'Aaron.
Oh.
Since we've been talking him like under the
And it
table.
goes a little something like this.
So no, my last question to you is, what is it you're focusing on together for the near future?
Creating a unified brand under NayeliArt. So,
And that brand is?
NayeliArt.
Mhm.
And as a complement to NayeliArt, we're saying that your identity has an effect in the world, and what type of effect do you want to create in the world. So I use the abbreviation IDfx. So when I create content, when I sit down with a client, I talk to them about their brand, their persona, and who the target demographic is, and what is the purpose of their existence. Along with that, I create a brand that's consistent with their image or with their reputation, and help them to communicate with their target demographic. Nayeli does the coaching part of it, and together we hope to pretty much edify and encourage people to continue up their professionalism, enhance their artistic presence, and promote their professional presence as well.
You know that, ladies and gentlemen, with that, it started long ago in the Garden of Eden when Adam said to Eve, baby, you're for me. So come on, baby, let's start today. Come on, baby, let's play the game of love.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to the Entertainment First Podcast. We are here live and in color. We have Miss Nayeli.
Living color.
Bring the music back.
Bring the music back.
Oh yeah, right. You had me spinning. You had me spinning. You had me spinning. John, you got one last on this. Talk
You
to
got
me.
me spinning. Oh, that's your song. At last we see each
Improv.
other plain. No 24601. My duty to the law. Okay.
I like it.
Wrong.
Encore.
More.
Thank you. Finish the thank you.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to the Entertainment First Podcast. We are here. We will always be here. We want to thank our guests, Miss Nayeli Cordova and Mr. D'Aaron Mata. Thank you so much for being on the program. We want to thank everybody for tuning in to us tonight. In the meantime, don't be no fool and just be cool. We will see you in the future.
Ciao, bye.
Music.